Can America survive the millennial generation? A new survey points to some very disturbing trends. Ilhan Omar is in deep you-know-what for not only allegedly having an affair, but also using campaign funds for her dude's travel expenses. Beto O'Rourke blames the U.S. for the drought in Guatemala, and the Be a Champion segment focuses on the founder of Young Americans Against Socialism. All that and more. I'm Bobby Eberle. This is a 13-minute news hour.
And God bless the United States of America.
All right, friends, welcome to the show. I'm glad you can make it. We're going to jump right in with Ilhan Omar because she has gone from the frying pan into the fire. This is not a good week. I want to talk to you about Dr. Beth Jordan Minot, okay? If you don't recognize her name, you soon will because she's filing for divorce from her husband, Tim. And the reason? Because supposedly Tim Minot is having an affair with Ilhan Omar. But it gets even worse. Supposedly, from FEC filings, it looks like Omar may have been paying this guy's travel expenses with campaign funds. Here's a report from the Daily Caller. It says, Federal Election Commission FEC records reveal that Omar campaign began making travel reimbursements to Tim Minot's company, E Street Group, LLC, on April 1st, about a week before Dr. Beth Jordan Minot said her husband admitted to having an affair with the congresswoman, according to a divorce filing the New York Post reported on. Omar's campaign funded $21,547 in travel for E Street Group starting in April, FEC records show. Beth Minot said her court filing that Tim Minot's extensive travel with Omar is likely unrelated to his work with the E Street Group. Defendant's more recent travel and long work hours now appear to be more related to his affair with Representative Omar than his actual work commitment, the document states. So here's the deal. That's illegal, okay? You can't use campaign funds for personal use. And if this is the case, she could be in some big trouble, and she's already been fined for it before. Here's more from the Daily Caller. It says, government ethics watchdog Tom Anderson of the Conservative National Legal and Policy Center said Omar may have violated campaign finance law if she used campaign funds to pursue a romantic affair. We believe Representative Ilhan Omar may have touched the third rail of campaign finance law, dispersing campaign funds for personal use, Anderson told the Daily Caller News Foundation. It's a brazen act Representative Omar was caught doing before in Minnesota, and all of the evidence we've seen tells us she's probably doing it again. So yes, she's been fined in Minnesota. This consulting group, this E Street Group, since just 2018 has received over $230,000 from Omar, and $21,000 of it just since April is travel expenses for her guy. So it seems very screwy, and we'll see what happens with Ilhan Omar going forward. But it just shows you what an anchor this so-called squad, whether it's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or Rashida Tlaib or Ilhan Omar, it is just an anchor on the Democrats. And this is just getting worse. And if she violates these laws, maybe they'll actually look into her immigration and see if that's fraudulent as well, because everyone seems to think it is, yet no one's doing anything about it. So maybe this is just the crack in the dam that'll help get things going, and Ilhan Omar can get out of there, and they might actually get a decent rep. Who knows? But next, I want to talk about Beto O'Rourke, because this guy is sinking with that anchor wrapped around him, yet he keeps going. He keeps saying crazier stuff. If you remember at an earlier campaign stop earlier this year, he said this.
This is our final chance. The scientists are absolutely unanimous on this, that we have no more than 12 years to take incredibly bold action on this crisis.
So now he's just gone, now he's not getting the play, the time, the ratings that he's gotten before, and he's just getting crazier. At a group this week, he told them that the U.S. is to blame for the drought in Guatemala. Not God, not nature, but the United States. Take a listen.
And Guatemala, suffering one of the greatest droughts in their recorded history, caused not by God nor by Mother Nature, but by you and me and all of us in our omissions and our excesses, in our inaction, in the face of the facts and the science and the truth.
Wow, this guy needs to go away fast. I believe he made it to this next round of debates, but hopefully as things get tighter, he'll drop because he's entertainment. I mean, he's not providing anything useful except calling people racist, bigots, America a racist country. Yet his whole platform, he says, is to bring people together to strive for higher. It's so contradictory. It makes no sense. And next, here's something else that doesn't make sense, and that is the millennial generation. All right, this new survey came out, and it points to some really weird stuff, bad trends, and in particular, the survey asked about what values, American values, such as patriotism and belief in God and family, things like that, that you rank as very important. Okay, this is an NBC News Wall Street Journal poll, and I want to put some of the results up there for you because it's just startling how much has changed, say, in the last 20 years. Here's some of the results. Those who feel that patriotism is very important, boomers and silent generation, 79%, millennials and Gen Z, 42%. Those who feel a belief in God is important, 67% for older, 30% now for millennials and Gen Z. Having children is very important. Boomers and silent, 54%, millennials and Gen Z, 32%. So every category, boomers and silent generation were in the lead. So where do millennials pull ahead? You know, where are they at tops on the charts? Well, here you go. It says, tolerance for others. Millennials have a slight edge over the 55 and over crowd. Self-fulfillment. There's the big jump, okay? So what does it all mean? You know, what does these trends indicate? Well, Ben Shapiro was on Fox News the other day, and here's what he said.
The common social institutions and philosophies around which the country was formed and has continued to progress are dissolving.
So Shapiro went on and addressed patriotism and religion and things like that, and he asked a key question. Check this out.
If you get rid of patriotism and innate belief that the country and the principles upon which it was founded are wonderful, you get rid of religion, which is the main social institution that has been upholding a free society for the last couple of hundred years here in the United States, and then you get rid of even a care for the future, meaning people don't care about parenting or having children as much. The question becomes, what exactly are the ties that are supposed to bind us together other than watching the Super Bowl once a year together?
All right, so that's some pretty good comments, but he left out the why. Why is this happening? It's not happening by accident, folks, okay? People just didn't wake up in this generation or over time and think, you know what, I don't really believe in God that much. Family's not that important. You know, patriotism, it's not that big of a deal. It just didn't happen overnight, and it did not happen by accident. This is a conscious effort by the left over the decades to change the attitudes of American society. As you've seen over the decades, they've taken over education, they've taken over entertainment, they've taken over technology. They're starting to infiltrate religion. It's getting worse and worse, and all of that is to destroy the foundations of not only what makes America great as a country, but a great and just society. And they're going after patriotism, God, and family. If you recall, communists, what do? What's one of the first things they do? They outlaw religion. In this anything goes type society, they say, okay, any family's all right, you know, 2 dads, 2 moms, no dads. It doesn't matter, no family structure at all. It's all good. There's nothing one better than the other when we all know that a family, if you can have it with a father and a mother, is the best for raising kids. It's just shown. It's just been proven, yet they want to destroy that. And then, of course, religion. You see how Christianity is under attack from the left all the time, over and over again. Because if you destroy these foundations, if you destroy a strong belief in your country and in God and family, the only thing that's left is government, is totalitarianism, and that is what they want. You destroy other foundations where people come together and put hope in and leadership in and things like that. The only thing that's left is government, and that's where the control comes in, and that's what we've seen in other communist socialist countries, and that's what's happening here. It's not happening by accident. And you know, the survey that came out earlier this year, millennials favor socialism over capitalism. It's just absolutely nuts. But all hope is not lost, okay, folks? And that's what leads us to our Be a Champion segment, because I want to talk to you today about Morgan Zegers. This young woman is just outstanding, and I can't wait for you guys to listen to her, because Morgan, she's 22 years old. She's already run for office in New York, okay? And in addition to that, She helped start a business, a woodworking business, with her family that's growing in shipping products across the United States. And on top of that, she's the founder of Young Americans Against Socialism. It's a really interesting group. And we happen to have Morgan Zegers here with us today. Again, she's the founder and CEO of Young Americans Against Socialism. But Morgan, when I was looking at your background, it's so interesting because hardly anyone in the country actually gets up the nerve to run for office. And you did it at such a young age. And I'm just interested, what was that experience like, and what possessed you to run?
Yeah, well, I'm from upstate New York, and I'm really proud of that. It's a very rural Republican area. And when you have a governor like Governor Cuomo, who is rampant with corruption, his administration is seeping in pay to play, and we are the highest state and local taxed state in the country. We have the highest salt tax that you can think of, and then we also are the most corrupt state in the country. We have the worst business regulations in the country. We really rank highest in all the worst categories, and so that really inspired me to step up. I don't believe in just climbing the political ladder and running for school board and then local seat and then state assembly and then Congress one day, and a lot of people do. And so when I ran for state assembly, because I specifically care about state level issues, a lot of people thought it was a breath of fresh air.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I found it a breath of fresh air, and I wish you luck when you do it again. And now you or if you do it again, I'm not sure how good the experience was, but I want to talk about this organization because when I was your age, it was just an interesting time, not only in the country, but in the world. I mean, the Soviet Union was collapsing, Germany was reunifying, and you had hundreds and thousands of people taking to the streets in these different countries, waving their country's flag, waving American flags, because they had rejected tyranny and socialism and communism and wanted American freedom. So the last thing that I would have thought that we needed was Young Americans Against Socialism. But now, 30 years later, here we are, and we have it. And I just wanted to give the audience a perspective of what is going on in society and colleges and universities that makes us have this need.
Yeah. Well, when I was in college, I went to American University, and I loved the name. I thought it was going to be so patriotic, going to Washington, D.C., the nation's capital for my higher education. And when I got there, I realized it was 90% liberal, and it was the #1 most politically active campus in the country. So I knew there was going to be some leftist bias, and I figured that's okay. I'm really strongly rooted in my values, and I believe in freedom and opportunity, and I'm not going to falter on that, so it's fine. But I experienced some crazy stuff in the classroom, but one of the most weirdest experiences, and I'm really thankful for it, is I lived with a communist in my last year of college.
Oh, wow.
And I look on our wall, and there is a poster of some guys, and I recognize them from the history textbooks, and it's literally Mao Zedong, Stalin, Lenin, Fidel Castro, and Karl Marx, and it says, "Welcome to the party."
Talk about a little bit about the founding of this organization and what you guys are doing and how people can help. Let us know a little bit about that.
We launched Yes, and we said, how do we enlighten my generation? How do we get them this information? And we found out that 90% of my generation, young Americans, have a social media account. And this is crazy. They spend 5 hours a day on average scrolling through their phone, like just going whoop, 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 consuming content, whether that's short videos or tweets or whatever. And so we said, let's just put the information where they are. Let's bring them information instead of making them seek it out or hoping that they come to our page or hoping that they watch our DVD video. So we created a social media organization. And what's so great about that is it allows us to be lean and mean. So every donation that we get just allows us to make more short videos, to travel the country and interview people who have escaped socialism, because they tell their personal story to our camera. The stories are so emotional and powerful, and really there's so many lessons for my generation to learn from these personal experiences. And then social media advertising is so effective and efficient. It allows us to be seen by literally millions of people. And it's insane, but we've already had millions and millions of views. I think we're up to 15 million at this point. We've launched 1 week ago. So we're excited to see the impact that we can have on the way my generation views socialism.
Right. I have kids your age, so I can attest to how often they're on social
Lots
media.
of phone time.
Right, but it's a great program. So if people want to check out these different platforms, what's the handle or the website? How can they get in touch with you?
Yep. So on social media, we're Young Americans Against Socialism. And then on YouTube, we have our channel with all of our videos. We also have a website if anyone's interested in financially supporting the creation of these videos and the push out of these videos to younger Americans' phone screens across the country. So our website is yaas.org, and that has all of our website or all of our videos too.
Morgan, I wish you the best of luck, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
So just awesome comments by Morgan. And folks, we're going to have some links in the description to the Young Americans Against Socialism, so you can find out more about the organization. Sorry we ran long today, but that interview was just so good. So much to pack into today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. Folks, please subscribe. And when you do, please hit that bell so you'll be notified. I'm Bobby Eberly. This is the 13-Minute News Hour. Okay, friends, just a little reminder before you go, and no, this does not count against my 13 minutes. Please hit the subscribe button below and tell your friends. And if you happen to miss our last show, you can check it out right here. And also for great conservative news and commentary, please check out GOPUSA.com. All right, folks, we'll see you on the next show. Have a great day.